Hi everyone, it's Friday. It's time for the favorites of the month. I've actually missed July, so this is like a summer favorites sort of video. I'm going to start with the woo-woo stuff. I'm going to start with cards, going to move over to books, and then we'll move over to some non-woo stuff. So if you're only interested in like cards or books, you can shut off at that point, and then I'll go into some other things. So I do have a few card decks to show for the month. The first is the Moon Oracle. This was kind of I bought this kind of on a whim. I saw this in my local bookstore. I'd seen it online. It's a reprint. The original one I did have a long time ago, like end of the 90s, early 2000s, like the original one I gave it to someone like years and years ago. So I thought, I kind of didn't even really remember how this deck worked. I got it and I was like, oh, I totally forgot about this. So this is a very interesting deck. I have been using it for my Patreon readings. For monthly readings, and I just find this is like very accurate. I use this in conjunction with tarot, and it gives a good sense of timing, and I think it's really accurate about what kind of is going on. So it comes in kind of like a box with the book on top. It slides out, and then you've got the deck in this, kind of inset sort of there. It's got a silvery back, a shiny silvery back, kind of to go with the moon, which makes sense. I don't think the original had shiny silver, but I can't remember. This deck is in 3 parts. The first is the moon phases. So it has a phase, a card for each phase of the moon, along with, and it's all in the 4 elements. So there's each phase of the moon: earth, air, fire, water. So you pull out the one for your current particular where you are, and then you can pull one to see timing backwards or forwards. So, and the book has a calendar in it. So it's very, very good for timing and accuracy. The second part of the deck, just looking for it here. The second part is the Mansions of the Moon, which is an old system that was used by Babylonian, still used by a lot of Middle Eastern astrologers. So it sees sort of these degrees of the wheel of the zodiac, and each of them has a meaning. So these cards can be used for sort of not for timing so much, but they tell you what energy is going on. They tell you what you pull a card from this, and it kind of gives you kind of the oracle part of the reading. And then they have at the end, there are goddess cards for each of the signs of the moon. And these kind of tell you what sort of goddess energy you need to bring to your particular question or problem. So the phases give you some information, but they also give timing. Then you have, the oracle cards that kind of answer the question, and then the goddess cards that kind of say what kind of energy you need to bring to this situation on your part. So they actually make for a really kind of unique and interesting reading, and I love the artwork in this. So show you Demeter here. Got this Art Nouveau, Art Deco sort of feel to it, so I quite like that. It's very different. It's very unique. It's not your average kind of oracle deck, so I've really enjoyed, incorporating this deck into my practice this summer. The next one I'm going to talk about is the Hedgewitch Botanical Oracle. I don't really have a plant deck. I have a tree deck, but I'm not like Earth is not one of my strong elements, that's for sure. It's my weakest element, for sure. It shows up in, like, I'm a terrible gardener, a bad housekeeper. Like, Earth is not my strong suit. So plants isn't, like, something that I easily connect with. But I saw this particular deck, and I really, I thought, oh, this will be good. It's the same person that did the Line Strider Tarot. The artwork is gorgeous, and the book's really good because it not only gives you the divinatory meaning for the plant, but it talks a lot about uses of the plant, how they've been used in foods and medicines. You learn about the plants as you're, reading cards, which I think is really good. And it's, it's different. It's not something that, I've worked with a lot, or like I said, I don't have plant decks, so it's kind of like a unique thing to work with. The artwork is very much kind of watercolory, which I really love. I recognize a lot of these plants. So it's just a really beautiful, soft sort of deck to work with, and I've really enjoyed learning about plants with this particular deck. So that's been one. The other one is the Tarot in Wonderland deck, which I got and was my July deck. I'm a big Alice in Wonderland fan. One of my favorite books as a child. And so I was skeptical because I've seen some not so good Alice themed decks. But this one is really wonderful. I love it. And it's going into the regular rotation of tarot decks, that's for sure. So, and it's more based on the classic illustrations rather than the Walt Disney type illustrations. Oh, the mock turtle. I love the mock turtle. It's a lot of watery energy, a lot of browns and greens and blues. It's a fun deck to work with for sure. And then I love that it has the Cheshire Cat. Look at that. Oh, Cheshire Cat. So, love that. Next, I'm going to be showing some of the books that I've been reading this particular month. I do have a book club level on my Patreon where we pick a book a month. And next month we're going to be doing Woman Most Wild for the month of September. This was something that in the online coven we kind of agreed on. And I'm interested in that because apparently it is quite a lot like Women That Run With the Wolves, or in that same sort of theme, but a little more witchy. So I'm curious to see how that one's going to be. On sort of the non-witchy side, although it's a little bit woo still, is the Being Boss book. Being Boss is a podcast run by two entrepreneurs, the creative entrepreneurs. So the book is about kind of like running your own business, and it's not so much the like nuts and bolts boring thing. It's more about balancing out your life with working and doing your own business. And that's definitely what I've been trying to do is, I've been really working hard on developing, a business with reading cards and doing astrology and all that kind of stuff and being an artist. And I'm still working a day job too at the same time, so it's a lot of work. But this book is all about kind of maintaining that balance. And the two people that wrote this are they're into witchy boo things too. So there's a lot of stuff about like intention setting and different methods that you could use and meditation and stuff. And the way that it's designed is just really, really pretty because they were graphic designers originally, I think. So they had a hand in making sure that the book was designed just really beautifully and well. There's the pictures there. So yeah, it's a good book. I read it in like a couple of days. There's like a candle meditation there. So you can see it's not just businessy. It's pretty woo, which is awesome. The other book I read, and that we did that was like the first one I read for the month of July, was The Desire Map by Danielle Laporte. And I know a lot of woo people really like her too. There's a full review on there. But this was a really good book for just getting you to think about things differently. So she has like a whole day planner method. I tried it. I didn't really care for it. But I think the book is still good and worth it because it's asking, instead of looking for a thing as a goal, the whole premise is, how do you want to feel? Because people, they want things because of the way they think that thing is going to make them feel. So what they're really after is the feeling. For example, like they want the fancy car because they think it's going to make them feel wealthy. Well, maybe something else will make you feel wealthy. So, and then they get the thing and they wonder why they're not happy. Because what we're really more about is feelings. So that's what this whole book is generally, in a nutshell, about. But I really did enjoy reading it. So that was one of my favorite things for the month. I also am reading, almost finished, Condensed Chaos, which is about chaos magic. I don't know a lot about chaos magic, so I thought I would read it. I'm going to do a full review on the Witchy Book Club, but yeah, it is a good little read. It's not a difficult read. It's not super big, and I thought, hey, I can always learn things, right? So it's good. Now, on to the non-woo things. So if you are not into that, you can switch off now. All right. So I feel like I'm forgetting things because July and August, I feel like a lot of things happened. But while we're still on books, I did get this. It is a Guns N' Roses, of course, because I'm crazy. Comic book. These came out in, I think, like the late 80s. And you see there, different comic book artists contributed to it. It's just a super thin comic. I got it on eBay. I think this is not original. I'm pretty sure this is a reprint. It's in pretty good condition. And it's just like a fun little comic book, different artists, different people's take sort of on the band. So I just collected that because I'm crazy and weird and I love them. And then the other thing I got, which I did a whole unboxing video for, and I really love, is my GNR box set of, oh, there's stuff on here, I'm going to take this off, of the Appetite for Destruction reissue box set. Here it is. You can't really see the pattern here. It's really hard to see in this light, but there is like an etched in the logo from Appetite for Destruction. I did a whole unboxing, so I'm not going to take up this whole thing, but there's a book in here. Okay, maybe I will. I'm lying. I'm taking it up. With, it's got the 4 CDs as the Mac and the DVD as well. So I've been listening to that. I really like, you know, like how many versions of Move to the City do you need? But I kind of like all the versions. I love, there's like an acoustic only version of November Rain on an acoustic guitar, and then there's a piano only version of it, and they're both like so beautiful. Just love them. So I've been really, really enjoying listening to that for sure. And then it's really cool kind of to have the hardcover book with all the old pictures and things. I still don't know, I have to decide what I'm going to do with the pictures and the posters that I got. I have to find like a good, nice space to put them up. But it's kind of exciting to get something new-ish from them, sort of, yeah. So I was very, very excited to see that. I've got to find a place of honor for that. And then the other thing I got was this very cool Bluetooth speaker. Now, it's a Bluetooth speaker. How exciting is that? But this one's pretty cool because you turn it on. Oh, come on. Go on. Oh, you can't see the color quite. I'm going to cycle through the colors here. Oh, you can't. It looks white here. Oh my god, it looks white on the screen. But trust me, in real life, this is a rainbow. It's like blue, green, yellow, pink, blue, but it looks white on the screen. How weird is that? And somebody already put something on my thing and messed it up. It's already dirty. Okay. That is so weird. It's like white, but I look at it, and it's like blue, pink. Oh my god, this does not show up. Oh, you know what? You can see it in the reflection. Okay, if you look at the reflection on this glass on the poster, you can see what the colors are actually doing. Okay, that's cool. Okay, where am I here? Did the colors change again? Oh, anyway, so it's like a lava lamp. I'm going to shut it off now. It's like a really cool, like colorful mood light lava lamp that plays music, which is pretty cool. Oh, you saw the color there. That's weird how it doesn't show up in there, but it shows up in the reflection. Really weird. But it's been very cool. It's a lot of fun, and I kind of needed a Bluetooth speaker because the speaker on my phone wasn't that great. So I got that. I feel like there's other things. I did some really fun things this summer. I went horseback riding, which I haven't done in like 20 years, and it was so much fun, and I have to go again. I went to the beach, which I hadn't done in years. Awesome as well. I went to the spa. I went to a Nordic spa where you like go in a sauna, and then you go in cold water, and then you lie down and rest. And then you go in a sauna, and then you go in water, and then you lie down and rest. It's like very weird, but very relaxing. So I did that. I feel like I did a bunch of things, but that's the latest things I did. As for what else has been my favorites, TV shows, we're watching the Goldbergs, which is like, it's just like a silly sitcom comedy, but it's set in the 80s, and they do get a lot of things right, and so it's kind of got nostalgia feels for me, which I love. And I've been watching Ozzie and Jack and their adventures, and I love that because I love Ozzie Osbourne so much. And that's what I've been doing. So let me know what your favorites are for the summer. I'm running out of time, so I gotta wrap this up. Thank you again so much for watching. Peace, love, rock.